Sorry, but American wrestling is ass in MMA, bro. It's not. Daniel Cormier, Dan Henderson, GSP, John Jones, TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz, Demetrius Johnson. Like, what are we talking about? You heard somebody say, you heard one of these Dagestani guys say American wrestling is trash. You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. If it's only just American wrestling, yes, you have no skill levels in anything else. Yeah, you're gonna be in a tough fucking situation. You have to learn how to wrestle for MMA. American wrestling is a very good base. Americans have some of the best wrestlers on the planet. You have no idea what you're talking about. In modern MMA, Demetrius Johnson is modern MMA, bro, and he's the greatest of all time in terms of technique. Henry Cejudo is the fucking Olympic gold medalist, double champion. What are you talking about? American wrestling is not ass in MMA. Just because these Dagestani wrestlers come over here and they're very impressive, doesn't mean American wrestling is ass in MMA. You have no idea what you're talking about if you have that take. Yeah, we're talking about DC era is modern era. GSP is a little bit before that, but that was American wrestling. We're talking about Henry Cejudo. We're talking about Mario Batista, who just beat Jose Aldo using his wrestling. I know he didn't take him down and push him against the cage most of the time, but listen, you're out of your fucking mind. Dominic Cruz, the greatest bantamweight of all time. Cody Garbrandt, American wrestling. TJ Dillashaw, American wrestling. Demetrius Johnson, American wrestling. You have no idea what you're talking about. Kamaru Usman, American wrestling. Kobe Covington, American wrestling. All of the most famous badass wrestlers mainly are all fucking American wrestlers. There's only this new wave of Dagestani wrestling. And guess what? They fucking do the same thing. There's no difference. There's no difference in terms of wrestling. It's all the same shit. They all learn the same shit. It's just who could utilize the grappling better. Who can utilize that jiu-jitsu and wrestling for MMA. You need to know what wrestling for MMA is. MMA wrestling is different than just, obviously, American collegiate wrestling, bro. It's who can take their American collegiate wrestling and make it a good MMA wrestling base. Obviously, Khabib learned and figured out how to do that. The Dagestani guys learned and figured out how to do that. But so did so many other American wrestlers. Like, get out of town, brother. Get out of town. Leg kicks used to be lethal. Joe Rogan glazes them all the time. Just how BJJ was considered best base when MMA was in primitive state. Listen, you're not wrong about BJJ, right? But if you take a black belt level, and you could go watch Bo Nickel versus Gordon Ryan, but you probably don't even know who that is. Wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, the highest level of jiu-jitsu beats wrestling. And I'm not talking about Khabib versus Oliveira or Islam versus Oliveira, because these guys know how to do jiu-jitsu. You're taking just wrestling, just jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu guy wins because he's going to find the submission. Okay? Leg kicks used to be lethal. What the fuck are you talking about? Everyone's calf kicking now. Everyone's still calf kicks. That's a leg kick, bro. They're still lethal. How can you defend the calf kick? Alex Pereira destroyed Izzy's leg, dog, and those are the two highest level strikers on the planet. BJJ is still good. BJJ is still amazing. BJJ obviously is still good. Obviously, you need jiu-jitsu. If you don't have jiu-jitsu, you're going to get submitted. You need to train jiu-jitsu, just like you need to train wrestling. You need to have a good wrestling base, and you need to have good jiu-jitsu, at least good jiu-jitsu defense. You need to learn how to defend submissions, so you need to do jiu-jitsu. Becoming an elite jiu-jitsu submission defense guy means that you're fucking good at jiu-jitsu and you're training jiu-jitsu all the time. Khabib learned from DC. That's a good point. American D1 wrestlers are feared at one time of MMA period, but not anymore. Listen, you're not understanding what I'm saying. If you go into the UFC with just D1 wrestling, no fucking shit, dog. No shit. You're going to get your ass beat on the ground because you haven't done any jiu-jitsu or wrestling for MMA. You need to understand what wrestling for MMA is. It's not just your standard wrestling, bro. It's different. Just like MMA jiu-jitsu is different from just pure jiu-jitsu. That's why Chrome Gracie and fucking Ryan Hall suck in the UFC, because they try to bring their puritist jiu-jitsu in. Of course, a purist in just wrestling gets their ass beat. Look at Bo Nickel, right? He needs to do more jiu-jitsu. He needs to do more MMA wrestling. Wrestling, MMA, it's totally different, dog. It's different. Just like you can't go in and box. You can't come in and have a traditional boxing style. You're going to get your ass beat. You need to learn how to MMA box like Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. They have MMA boxing. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you know them. So then you need to understand that the highest level of each thing, jiu-jitsu, is those guys, they beat all the wrestlers. They beat all Division I wrestlers in a grappling match because Division I wrestlers don't know jiu-jitsu. They beat all these strikers that don't know jiu-jitsu if they could get the fight to the ground. That's why a lot of jiu-jitsu guys struggle, is because they don't know how to wrestle. Right? If they knew better wrestling, you can't tell me BJJ doesn't fucking work. Islam Makhachev chokes everybody out. He gets on their back and he fucking chokes them. Khamzat Chimaev uses his MMA for wrestling, and he fucking gets on your back and he chokes you. You have to be a wrestle-jitsu MMA guy. That's the most purest form of grappling. Wrestle-jitsu to fucking to MMA grappling. You have to be elite MMA grappling. You're not gonna come in with puritist grappling. You're gonna get beat the fuck up in MMA. You're spitting facts? I know I am. Yeah, but you're looking at it more as like just that puritist style coming in. You don't understand that these American wrestlers need to learn how to do wrestling for MMA. And I just disagree with you. We're gonna disagree on the subject, and we're gonna move on. Muay Thai is only good in Muay Thai. Well, listen, you got to hear my concept. The concept is, if you take only one puritist form, like obviously MMA has evolved so much where you can't just be one thing anymore. You have to learn how to be good at it in MMA. Muay Thai isn't bad in MMA. Charles Oliveira has great Muay Thai. He trains at Shootbox. Fucking, there's so many guys with fucking Petr Yan has great Muay Thai and great boxing. Like, he has great Muay Thai. You just need to learn how to make it evolve into MMA. It's not that American wrestling sucks. It's that these guys who only have American wrestling backgrounds, they suck at grappling. They suck at MMA grappling. That's what it is. It's not about Muay Thai sucking, boxing sucking. Listen, it's the same thing. You're not going to bring an MMA fighter into boxing and he's not going to beat the boxer because he doesn't have purist boxing. You're not going to take an MMA fighter and put him in a Muay Thai fight. He's not going to win that. Just the same way, these puritists in other martial arts, they're not going to come into an MMA fight. They might have success against certain people, but they're going to cap out at a certain time, right? They're going to cap out. And it's good to start somewhere. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's good to start somewhere and then evolve that into MMA. You need to have puritist backgrounds, right? You need to learn how to do pure jiu-jitsu. You need to learn how to do pure wrestling. But I mean, MMA has evolved so much to where like you can find really good only like where you only train MMA. You don't have a certain specific background. You can become a really good fighter.